Good morning. Good morning and welcome to our yoga practice. We'll get going in just a couple of minutes. My sinuses are very active this morning, so that's fun. We are getting close to time. Guess I got us rolling just a little later than usual. So make your way onto the mat. Start to dial in, building that awareness as we head toward the front third of our mat. Finding our Tadasana. We can set the feet hip width distance, maybe even a little wider. Oh, we have a little extra space today. We'll scooch ourselves in. All right, and feel that foundation. Maybe give the toes a wiggle. Shift the weight. And then settle where you feel nice and solid. Full connection to the mat. Every corner of the foot connected down. Then draw awareness up. Check in with the ankles, a little softness in the knees here. Draw the tailbone down. Stand tall, shoulders drop away from the ears as the arms hang at our side, pinkies toward thighs, palms forward. A little tuck of the chin as we let the crown of the head reach tall, gazing forward. Our solid Tadasana. Take a moment here as you connect with the breath. Feel the air move through the body. Notice any places that are going to need a bit of support throughout the practice. Notice if there's any surface level tension you can release, a softening of the hands, a settling of the shoulders. Notice where the energy is running. And through this practice, draw the mind to the present. Be here on the mat, not worrying about what already occurred or what may come. Just being present. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, you can. Whatever is positive, speaking to your heart today. And then on an inhale, we'll lift the arms. Exhale, hands to heart center, taking it nice and easy as we warm up. Big inhale as we scoop the air around us, reach tall. Exhale, hands to heart center, noticing how the shoulders feel as we make this movement. Big inhale as we reach, the length we create through side body. Exhale, hands to heart. Big inhale as we reach, we'll meet with the hands extended overhead. Maybe you interlace the fingers here. We do little metronome movement side to side. Gentle movement. Deepening slightly as you go. We'll meet back at center. If you're interlaced with the hands, release them. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Big inhale as we reach. Exhale, hands to heart. Big inhale to reach. On the exhale, we'll dive down nice and controlled. All the way to forward fold. Maybe the hands reach to the earth. Maybe they're on shins or thighs for a little external support. You could hold elbows to hanging ragdoll. Lots of options. Allow yourself that little bend at the knees if needed. And as you hold here, shake the head a little yes and no to help loosen the neck. Come back to stillness. We'll lower the hips, belly to thighs. Find your foundation as you rise back up. Back to Tadasana. Inhale the arms up. Exhale to forward fold. As you hold here, notice where the weight is sitting in the feet. If you're all the way back on the heels, shift the hips forward slightly, allowing more of that weight to sit toward the front half of each foot, keeping the whole foot connected down. We'll lower the hips, belly to thighs, root down, and rise up. Take a breath. We'll bring left hand to left hip. Inhale the right up. Exhale as you take it over. Press the right hip out. Shift the weight to that right foot, creating our crescent moon. You can point the left toes out if you like. Yogi's choice. Inhale up. Exhale, right hand to hip. Inhale up the left. Exhale as you take it over. Press the left hip out. Shift the weight. And again, you can point the right toes if you like. Keep the heart open. Inhale up. Exhale as you release the hands down. Inhale up. Exhale to forward fold. Take a breath. Inhale to half lift. Nice flat back, that 7 shape. Hands to shins or thighs or airplane. Draw the navel into the spine. Exhale as you release. Plant the hands, step just the left toes back. Runner's lunge. Take a breath. Plant the hands, step the right toes back, high plank. Take a breath here. You can lower to the knees if you like. Elbows tight to the body as we move through chaturanga to the belly. Uncurl the toes. Inhale up. You can go baby cobra, a mid lift. Try not to go all the way up unless your back's feeling super gooey already. Exhale as we release. We'll press back to an extended tabletop. Face the fingers. Really grip the mat as you curl the toes. Preparing for our down dog. Solid foundation. Strong arms will lift the hips. Shift them back. Make any little adjustments you need to as you find that upside down V shape. I guess it's like an A-frame tent. Heels are reaching toward the earth, though they may not touch it. Trying to find a flat back, and you can explore a bit in any of our shapes. Find stillness. On an inhale, look toward the hands. Exhale as you bring the feet to meet them, forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale as you release. Big inhale as we rise up. Reach tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Release the hands. We'll widen the stance. The feet may be at the edges of the mat, maybe slightly in or out, depends on your height. We'll let the arms be nice and loose at our side. A little ease through the knees and the hips. As we start our rotation, let the arms just move about naturally. Hand knocking on the low back and the front hip. The feet can stay connected down here. Again, ooey gooey through the knees and hips. Or you could deepen that, coming up onto the ball of the foot. Nice rotations. Softness in the shoulders. We'll slow it down and find stillness. We move the feet back to about hip width or maybe slightly wider. Inhale the arms. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Plant the hands up, just the right toes back. Runner's lunge. Trying to keep that left knee over the ankle or low behind it. That may mean extending your stance as the hips sit low. Inviting in a nice stretch. Plant the hands. Step the left toes back. High plank. You can lower to the knees. Elbows close as we move to the mat. And inhale up to your cobra. Exhale as you release. You can move to that extended tabletop or curl the toes and press right up to down dog. If you choose to take that extended tabletop, just slowly work your way to down dog. That can be a nice transition, and it's always available to you as you move through sun A's. On an inhale, look toward the hands. Exhale as you bring the feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Nice big inhale draws us up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a breath. Feel the energy. Big inhale as we lift. Exhale as we lower. Inhale to half lift. Exhale as we plant the hands, step both feet back. High plank. Gently lower down. Inhale up. Exhale to down dog. Taking a few breaths here. We'll lower the knees, uncurl the toes, hips to heels, child's pose. If having the knees near one another isn't serving you, you can take them wide to the edges of the mat. Start to walk the hands toward the knees as we lift up. Rise up to a kneeling posture. Knees under hips. We'll curl the toes. Fists to low back. Start to arch back. Gently draw the gaze up. Feel that nice openness as the shoulder blades draw together. And back up. Release. We'll lower down. Find a favorite hip as you swing the legs around. We'll send both legs out in front of us. Sit bones connected to the mat. Feet have a little distance between them. We sit up. Inhale to reach. Exhale to fold. Finding our Paschimottanasana, our nice seated forward fold. You can hold feet or ankles or the mat. Trying to fold at the hips. Shine that heart forward. You can have a little bend at the knees if needed. Nice steady breath. On an inhale, we'll lift up. We'll take the legs a little wider, heels off the mat. You can go as wide as you like. We'll sit up tall. And again, hinge at the hips. Keep nice long spine. You walk the hands away, folding forward. Hands can place on the mat in the middle. You could use peace fingers to hold on to the toes. You could hold on to ankles here. On an inhale, we rise up. We'll move the right leg back to where it started. And we'll tuck the left in. So bent knee, sole of left foot connected to the inner right thigh. We sit up tall, slightly angle over the extended leg, and fold down. The gaze drops to the extended leg. You can leave the hands on the mat. You can hold the foot. Keep a little micro bend in that knee if needed. And then scan from right heel to right hip. Allow each exhale to help you dive a little deeper, to melt more into the shape. Start to walk the hands in as you lift up. We'll lift that left knee. Left foot is planted on the mat. We'll move that right foot over just slightly, ever so slightly, kind of in line with the middle of the body. We sit up tall. We'll bring left hand around behind us. We hug the bent knee with the right arm. You could also go elbow to the outside of the knee. Nice twist as we keep a long spine. The gaze traveling a little farther behind us. And notice if you're angled out, if you've set that hand behind you really far. We want it to be nice and tall. So maybe scoot the hand in if that's the case. And on an exhale, we'll unwind, little counter stretch. Back to center, we'll extend the left leg. Tuck the sole of the right foot into the inner left thigh. Sit tall, angle, and fold. Janu on the opposite side. Allow yourself to soften into the shape, honoring what this side of the body is asking for. That could be a more generous bend at the knee, maybe a lot more flexible here. Maybe you can melt down even farther. Really be aware of your body, what's happening throughout. Melt into the shape a bit more. And then the next inhale, we walk the hands in as we rise up. We lift the right knee, slide that left foot over ever so slightly. It's going to be like a couple of inches, if that. We sit tall, right hand behind, left arm hugs, finding our twist on the opposite side. Allow this twist to come from your center, a little softening through the hips and the belly. Sometimes our tendency is to really want to crank into it with our arms and our shoulders. But we want to keep a little ease there. Allow the gaze to travel behind you a little farther. And on an exhale, unwind. Little counter stretch. Come back to center. We'll draw the left foot in. These fingers behind the knees as we sit tall. Angle back to about 45-ish. You can come onto the toes and then gently lift the feet off the mat. Core is strong, back body is engaged. Our boat, and you can tap your toes down, dock the boat anytime you need. You could reach the arms out here or up, back, playing around with it. Extend the legs, trying to keep that spine long, the core strong. And again, play with it. You can lower and lift. You can extend. You can dock the boat. Building a little strength. Exploring the shape. We'll take 2 more breaths here. On an exhale, lower the legs. Let the arms rest behind you. Little windshield wiper. Allow the hips to rotate with your legs. And then we reset. Feet together. Let the knees fall apart. The soles of the feet touching, or you can have a little space between them if that feels better for you. Heels can be as close in or as far away from the body as you need. Finding our bound angle shape. You can stay right here. You could wiggle a little bit. Invite in some movement. You'd like to deepen that stretch through the hips. We'll sit tall. Lead with the heart as we fold forward. You can press gently on the legs with the elbows. You could also use this time to give yourself a little foot rub. Gaze is down at the feet or slightly in front of them on the mat. Big stretch for the hips and inner thighs. One more breath here. On an inhale, we'll rise up. Help the knees up. And then gently lower down onto back body. Settle head and shoulders. Feet are connected to the mat. Low back is connected down to the mat as well. We'll take the arms down along our side, palms into the mat, thumbs touching our hips as we walk the heels in a little closer, setting our foundation for bridge. When you're ready, lift the hips, walk the shoulder blades a little closer together. As you rest on the shoulder shelf, keep the knees aligned with the hips. Sometimes they have a tendency to fall out here. And if you feel any pinching through the neck, gently lower down. Create a little space between the shoulder blades once more as we return the spine to the mat. Take a breath. And then on the inhale, lift the hips. Again, coming onto that shoulder shelf. If you like this time, you can walk the hands a little closer together, maybe even interlacing the fingers underneath you. A little tuck of the chin. Hands are connected. Release them, creating that space for the body to return to the mat as we lower down. Nice and controlled. We'll let the feet go out just a little bit and then windshield wiper the legs left and right. Nice little release after our bridge pose. Find stillness as you bring the feet back together. We'll go toes together, heels together, let the knees fall apart once more. Our supine bound angle. So that similar shape to our seated posture. Notice the subtle differences here, doing it supine on our backs. Let gravity gently draw the knees down. You can rest hands on inner thighs. A gentle weight, deepening the stretch, but if that's too much, you could also create little supports for the thighs by putting the hands slightly underneath them. All bring hands to outer thighs as we gently help the legs back together. Knees together as we heel toe the feet to the edges of the mat, a little counter pose. Take a breath. Heel toe the feet back to center and then draw both knees in. Big hug. You can stay here, resting on back body. You could rock a little side to side. That might feel nice on the low back. Creating a little massage between the body and the mat. Yogi's choice. If you're rocking, go ahead and slow it down. Return to stillness. We'll give the knees a little squeeze and send the heels high. Legs up the wall. This can be a really great posture to do before bed, especially if you set yourself near a wall and let the heels gently rest there. One of our easiest inversions. Very accessible shape. You can have the hands rest on the thighs, a little external support. The arms could be down alongside body, or maybe on the belly to keep that connection with the breath. Soles of the feet shine to the sky. Create a little ease in the ankles. You give the toes a wiggle. From here, we have a few options. If you have more time today, you can lower the legs to the mat. Settle into a shavasana, allowing the practice to wash over you to take a few moments of stillness before you start your day. If you're rounding out your practice with me today, we'll draw knees into the chest, take peace fingers behind them, rock along the length of the spine as we come up to a seated posture. We'll draw hands together at heart center to seal it in. I encourage you to take kind thoughts, kind words, and those kind intentions with you from now until we meet again. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for our yoga practice this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a wonderful week ahead, and I'll see you next Tuesday back on the mat. Bye, everyone.